This video is going to demonstrate how to start the CSS1 assignment for Web Design 1. Once you're logged into Blackboard for Web Design 1, click on the Assignments link and go to the CSS1 folder. This time you are going to be creating a document that has a little bit of design to it. Not a ton. We're still just mostly working with changing and styling fonts. And you probably noticed the content that you're going to be working with today. Okay, so the first thing it tells us to do is to make a new folder called CSS1, and it should be inside of your Web 1 assignments folder. It does give us a pre-existing index.html file, so we actually won't have to make that this time. We will have to create the rest of the folder and file structure on our own, and there is an there is a image file that we're going to need to save. So let's go to Dreamweaver, and we're going to right click on assignments, and we're going to do new folder and call it CSS1. And let's go ahead and make the folders. So we have a CSS folder, right click, new folder, img, right click, new folder, working. And then you're going to right click on this CSS folder and choose new file. Hit Command or Control A to select that entire file name, and then just type styles.css and hit return or enter. Now we don't want to make our index file here because it's given to us from Blackboard. So let's go back to Blackboard and let's right click on the index.html and choose Save Link As. And we want to make sure that it is going inside of Web 1 assignments CSS1, and it's going to just float in there. Now, if you notice, mine is trying to name it index parentheses 7 parentheses. That's not good. It should only be named index.html. So if yours had anything else in there, make sure you change it to index.html and hit save. There's also an image in here, so we're going to right click on that and we're going to save that. And make sure it's inside of your CSS1 folder. That's going to go inside of the img folder. Okay, now with this one, what makes this a little bit different is I am going to give you the CSS that you need to style for these particular elements. And then you have the end result for what it should look like. The same as what you have for the HTML assignments, but now they're going to have a little bit of color and some alignment and other things in them. Again, it would be a good idea for you to go under course information and have the print versus CSS chart available, because I might tell you to align the type a certain way, and you would have to know that that's text hyphen align. Okay, so let me go back to assignments. And I have had some students just kind of like highlight all of this and copy and paste it into their CSS, but I'm just going to kind of keep things open side by side as we're going. The other thing that you want to do is find your Web 1 folder, go into Assignments, CSS1, and you want to take that index and open it up in this browser window. And this is what it should look like right now. We haven't done any design work to it. Okay, so let's start with our first steps here. So I can collapse the CSS folder and the image folder. I don't need that right now. So I want to double click on the index.html, and it's going to tell us don't forget to change the title tag. So we could just call it song lyrics or something along that line, and then I'll save it. And then it's telling us to style the body tag, set the background image to top underscore image .jpg, and then have it repeat horizontally across the top. So it's basically going to look like this. And we kind of did that in the demo anyway, so that one might not be too tough. But before we can even do any of that, we have to link the index and the CSS document. So let me make my code larger for y'all. And to do that, we're going to do left caret link space href. And that is going to be css/styles.css. Make sure it goes in between the quotes, and then we'll do rel for relationship, style sheet, space type. So what type of file is it? It is a text/CSS. Again, yours can all be on one line. Mine just didn't fit because of how large the text is. Again, for anatomy of code, this is the element. There are 3 attributes: href, rel, and type. And then there are 3 values. The values are the things in the quotes. And if you open a quote, you got to close a quote, and make sure you stick with the double quotes here. Okay, so again, I have a little asterisk up here, so I'm going to save. Try clicking out here, and then my stylus.css pops up. Okay, so it says body, set the background color. Let me just show you how some students have kind of done this. Now, you'll have more screen space than I have right now, but sometimes they'll do this. Okay, so, all right, so that's telling me I need to style body, and I need to style the background image URL, and it needs to be, now make sure, see, I'm in the demo still. Go to Web 1, Assignments, CSS1, and then double click IMG, and then you want the top IMG.jpg, and do the semicolon. Okay, so I have that in, and now it's saying have it repeat horizontally across the top. Right now, let me get rid of this for a second so there's no error. If I come and look at the page, it's going to have this image going all over the place. So to have it repeat horizontally across the top, that's background hyphen repeat, and then repeat hyphen X. And there we go. So that's what you should do for the first one. And if you look, it matches that. So that's what we want. A side note, not that you have to do it here, but you can position that, and you could do like bottom. Top is just where it is by default, but you could have it down there at the bottom. So just a little side note in case you wanted to kind of play around with that. Okay, good. Whoops. All right, next, and I'm just going to do a few of these with you because I want you to be able to experiment on your own. Okay, it says H1, bright green font color. Okay, so here's kind of giving you an example. You do not have to match my colors exactly. All right, so style H1. So how do you change the color of a font? Well, that's just color. And then I'm going to choose color picker, and then I'll just choose a bright green. Like that. Save. And there we go. So it's going to tell you what the selector or element is that you're styling. So B is bold, I, U, Q, Q is for quote. So all of these things are already put inside of the body tag. Like you don't have to put those things in. I already did that. The only thing you'll have to do on the HTML after this is add a comment. And it does tell you a specific comment to add in the CSS. So this one probably won't take you very long at all. And it's going to look pretty close to this. It might vary just a little bit, but it's going to look pretty close to this. Whenever you're done, you are going to make sure all your files are saved. And one way that you can save all your files quickly is in Dreamweaver. I know I don't have it fully in the view here, but you could click up in your menu bar and choose File, Save All. So it's the one directly after Save As. So you could do Save All, and it will save all your pages that you have open. Okay, and then whenever you are done with this, you can upload it the way that you have been asked to do with the previous assignments as well. And that's pretty much how you will do the CSS1 assignment. As always, if you have any questions, please make sure that you let your instructor know. Thanks. When you've completed your CSS1 assignment and you are ready to submit, this video is going to show you how to do that. Now, before you submit, make sure that all of your files are saved, and also make sure that you have checked it in the browser window. Okay, I know it's really easy to kind of get caught up just going down through the instructions and assuming you're done, but one little typo can mess you up. Now, I haven't finished the entire assignment here, but we're just going to pretend that I did and I am ready to submit. So everything is saved. Okay, there's no asterisk here, and we'll just assume that it looked good, looked the way that it was supposed to here. So what you're going to do is go to your Google Drive, and then you're going to go inside of your Web 1 folder. Once you're inside of Web 1, what you're going to do is go back to your computer and go inside of your Web 1 folder and go inside of assignments. And for CSS1, typically I would have you remove the working folder. There's nothing in there right now, so I'm not that concerned about it. But basically what you're going to do is right click on that, and you are going to go down and choose compress CSS1. It would be helpful if you change the name of this to say O2 and then CSS1 and then your last name .zip. And then the other assignments moving forward, like for this week, it'll be like O2 CSS1 and then O2 HTML plus CSS. And then basically what you'll do is you'll take this zip file and you will drag it into your Google Drive and let it go. And that is how you can submit it.